yeah, can I adjust my exposure like this? No? All right, cool. Yeah. So, welcome to the 2025 end of the year recap, 2026 Q1 live stream. Real quick, this year, I'd like to ideally do a live stream once a quarter. So, we're looking 4 times a year. Maybe more, give or take the busyness of the year. Got to get the copy going. So, yeah, I guess I'll just kind of introduce myself if you don't know. My name is Chris Warren. I'm a Los Angeles based director of photography. I've been doing this full time freelance since 2012. And yeah, just making my way here in Los Angeles and around the world, shooting, filming stuff. So, yeah. Well, let's kind of get into this recap. And if anyone who joins in, people will join in. If not, then yeah. Oh, okay. Let's see. We'll pull up my document here. So I have this very fancy document made in Google Docs, Google Sheets actually, where I log everything for my year. So I'm going to be going over everything here. A quick 2025 recap overview of my work. I had 100 shooting days over the year of 2025. Not bad, a little light overall. In the past, I've done as many as like 200, sometimes 250. So having 100, very grateful, especially with how slow or how interesting the year was overall. Out of that 100 days, a total of that was 42 different jobs. So there was a lot of multi-day jobs in that. Most of the work were 1 or 2 days, and I had a few long-term jobs. One of them being a feature, and then let's see. So percentage-wise, right off the bat, from 2024 to 2025, I ended up my income disparity was down 12.5%. So 2025 was definitely a tougher year overall. 2024 was fantastic for me. Getting into 25, it was a little sketchy, doing this in the industry, but overall, not too bad to be down 12.5%. And then let's see. So, out of those 42 jobs and 100 shoot days, I had a total of 2 prep days, and I also had 8 travel days. What that broke down to, those different jobs, were I had a music video, I had 10 narrative projects, I had 1 commercial, and then the rest were like social media based stuff and sport based stuff. I worked with 13 different directors. 5 of those were first time directors. Everyone else were repeat, which is good. Having those repeat clients and having just having those relationships with directors is very important. That way, they're the ones that will keep hiring you, those directors and producers. So having those relationships and having that repeat work is very fortunate, and I'm very blessed to have that. So I one of my top producers, her name was Kendra, out of CWK Media. Check her out on Instagram at Cruising with Kendra. And we did a lot of automotive content last year, so that's a lot of the social media stuff that was a bulk of my work. Um, and then, yeah, my top gaffer of the year was a man named JP Bennett. My top key grip of the year was a man named Jesse Lee. And my top AC of the year was a man named Eric Dodds. He helped me out on a feature. Actually, it bounced between him and a guy named Josh Alvarez. But very, very excellent skilled workers here in Los Angeles. So if you're in the area, I highly recommend finding these people. Reach out to me. I can pass along their contacts, but they're skilled union folks that will definitely help you get your project made. I didn't shoot any film last year, so it was a completely digital year. Which is kind of a bummer. You know, I really enjoy shooting film, and it's been a minute since I have. And I would say, yeah, I mean, I miss it. It's kind of a good hybrid out there in terms of film and digital lately, from what I've seen. So hopefully, I get a film project this year. My top camera that I shot on this year, since a lot of the work was social media based and me doing it, I ended up using just my own Pocket 6K that I own. And the top lens set of the year was just Canon lenses, again, what I own. And for all the social media work, it worked and came out well. Other cameras I used throughout the year, let's see, what did I use? Used the Venice a couple times, Alexa Mini couple times. I had a handful of jobs on the Sony FX3. Also used the Ursa Mini Pro 12K a few times. Oh, and a new one for me was definitely some iPhone jobs, where literally this phone I'm live streaming on was the A camera. Social media stuff, crazy. And then let's see, anything else that really kind of stood out. Yes, I did have one job shooting on the Sony FS7 Mark II. That was a broadcast job. So it's been a minute since I've actually used that camera as well. So it was nice to get my hands on that and do that. I only had, let's see, let me go back to my log sheet here. Of the 100 working days, I had 88 days on location, only 12 days in some sort of studio setting. Here's an interesting fact. So out of those 13 directors I worked with, 11 of them were with a female director, and 12 of them were male directors. So, wait, that math doesn't math up. How? Oh, sorry, I had 16 total directors. Still doesn't math up. I don't know why my thing doesn't work. Oh, maybe because I included myself on there when there was like jobs where I had to do it. I included myself, so maybe those numbers are a little skewed. I apologize. However, the fact that I had 11 jobs, no, this works because I didn't include myself on those. I have to go back and double check. This is just my printout of the sheet, so I apologize if this is a little confusing. Either way, I know I did 11 jobs with a female director because if I did a job where I'm directing and shooting, I don't really log it as me. So there were definitely 12 different other male directors that I worked with, and then 11 jobs with a female director, which is pretty cool. So now here's the discrepancy. The money I made in 2024, that was over the course of 110 working days. In 2025, I had 100 working days. So those 10 days in 24 made up a 12.5% income increase, which is just wild. Yeah. This year, I worked 2 different countries, America being the biggest one because that's where I live, and Canada being the next one. I didn't do as much international travel this year. I did have an opportunity back in December to take a job over in Thailand. Unfortunately, I was already booked on something else, so I had to turn it down. I worked in 31 different cities and a total of 57 different locations. So as I mentioned earlier, I worked in 88 days on location with a total of the 57 different locations. I worked with a total of 17 production companies, with Ready Set being the top production company. Ready Set is a vertical based social media advertising agency. So a lot of the ads that you're scrolling through when you're watching YouTube or on Instagram or TikTok, and you're seeing those 10-second ads, 15-second ads, I shoot a lot of those. Hence the vertical iPhone deal. Out of that, I worked for 15 different brands last year in 2025, which is pretty cool. And the top brand was Horse Network. They're a social media company, and yeah, if you can call it a brand, but worked with their brand. So now, let's see. Yeah, my top lens set of the year, like I said, was Canon. What other glass did I use last year? I had a mix of Sigma lenses, Canon lenses. I used the Takumars on a job. The other big lens set that I used was my personal set of Mamiyas, Secor Cs. They're parked over at Rare Breeds in Culver. So if you're interested, definitely head on over there, do a test, check them out. And then used a couple Sony stock lenses, like on that FS7 Mark II and the FX3 jobs. Yeah, everything else for the most part was either Canon or Mamiya's. Let's see. What else was there? Yeah, I'm just kind of looking at my calendar. The first part of the year, Q1, was definitely shoot heavy. That's where I had a bulk of my work. And then June and October-ish. June was definitely the worst month. October was still pretty light it picked up towards the end of it. But actually, most of May and June were pretty bad this year. So tail end of Q2 wasn't that great. And I should do a comparison to 24's Q2 and see, but I'm sure that's probably where those missing 10 days, I mean, I only worked 1 day in June. On average, I'm working anywhere from 5 to 10 days. So June is where that discrepancy was. That probably was the reason why I didn't hit the income of 24. So, with that out of the way, let's see. Looking into 2026 this year, I have a feature coming up, an independent feature coming up at the end of this month, actually, and we shoot in 19 days, which is wild. A little over 2 weeks. We go into production. I'm excited because it's with my longtime collaborator, Alex Grabowskis, and it's his first feature film. So I will be supporting him on that. I'm very thankful that he reached out and asked me to shoot it. It's definitely a tough schedule. We're gonna be knocking out this feature in about 7.5 days. Great cast, fantastic cast. I'm actually using the Ronin 40. I haven't decided on the 6K or the 8K one yet. Just still doing some tests and figuring that out. If you have any experience with either of those, the Ronin 4D or the Ronin 6K, oh sorry, the 6K or the 8K one, please let me know like what your experience with those cameras have been. It's a new tool for me, so like I said, doing some testing, figuring out, playing with the image, color correcting it, building my LUT. Yeah, you know, I'd like to, but that's the camera we're set on using. Lens set, right now I'm bouncing between either the Cooke SP3s or the Nikon Nicors, Cinevised is what they call it. Yeah, I mean, that's the big job of the month. Other than that, nothing at the line at the moment. March is where things really pick up. I have a job in Tennessee. I have a job in Charlotte. And then I have another job in June back in Charlotte. Again, it's more automotive companies with CWK Media. So those jobs will be really cool, a lot of fun. Get to shoot some cars and some conferences and stuff like that within the automotive industry. There's also supposed to be a job in Mexico City at some point in Q1. Supposed to be going back to Vancouver in May for more horse work. And I may have some more work out in Palm Springs at the Desert International Horse Park again, out there with another horse production company, equestrian production company. So overall, 2026 is looking to be pretty cool. We shall see. It's yeah, it's getting kind of scary out there, but gonna do my best. Gonna see what happens. Now, some goals for 2026, career-wise. Well, actually, life-wise. Let's go life-wise. Life-wise goals. Just trying to improve my health. A couple years ago, back in 24, I nearly died, and had to definitely change a lot of lifestyle things, which is fine. Actually, best thing to have ever happened to me. So just trying to work on that and continuing to educate myself, be creative, be bold. And that kind of trickles into my career as well. To really be bold and put a stamp on the image as a director of photography. Not that you'd have to view it and instantly know that it's my work, but to at least have a voice on the image. Really try to implement that. So, some upcoming YouTube videos that I have. Some more question shorts. If you've been on my channel, you'll see that I have a bunch of shorts where I ask a question, try to get some engagement here. I have some more of those on the pipeline. Speaking of goals, actually, I'm planning on releasing a video once a week, whether it's here on this channel, my filmmaking director photography channel, or on my two other channels. I have a music one and a lifestyle one. If you're interested in those, leave a comment and I can send you the info on those channels. But some upcoming videos. I have a lot of older content that I actually shot back in 24 and in 25 that I'm editing and getting out there. They have meant to been released sooner, but life and work, travel. So I'm trying to have that balanced a lot better and get this content out there to you guys. I think it's a lot of good, knowledgeable content, and I think you can learn a lot. So, also, I just have some more videos prepped and ready to be filmed. And then once I get those filmed, I'll be dripping those out throughout the year, at least Q1. Also, I know this is kind of backtracking, but another personal goal of mine is to actually improve my YouTube channel subscriber base by 10%. So, looking to build that engagement and looking to get more of you guys subscribing to this channel, because it really helps me out, and yeah, I like to do this just to make sure that I can help educate you guys and answer any questions you may have and navigate this crazy industry. Any questions out there? And what kind of content are you guys looking to see? Let me see. Spam bots. Cool. I dig spam bots. Yeah. One thing, I guess let me know if there's any interest in this, because I'm going to leave this up for replay so people could go back to this and watch my ramblings if they want. One thing I'm prepping on doing that I'm building out is a pre-production course. I know every YouTuber is starting to do these course type things, and I don't know if mine will be any different, but it will at least be knowledge and come with 2 decades worth of experience of working in the industry here in Los Angeles. So, with my experience with equipment vendors, negotiating with rental houses, finding jobs, doing the networking, working the jobs, all the way through post, attending color sessions in person versus remotely. All that stuff that encompasses being a director of photography. Yeah, I mean, that's all I have at this point. So, like I said, if there's any content that you guys want to see or any questions you have for me, drop them down. Actually, I'm going to have a question for you guys here. How bad was 2025 for you? Was it slower? Was it more profitable? Was it about the same as 24? And kind of what's your outlook on 2026? I have to figure out what year we're in. What's your outlook on 2026? Anyways, guys, yeah, I'm gonna wrap this up. It's about 25 minutes worth of a live stream, but yeah, thank you for being here. I appreciate everything. I appreciate the support. Like, subscribe to the channel, and keep an eye out for a lot more great content coming your way. Until next time, guys. Peace.